Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Islands Uncovered. My name is Megan. I'm the owner of Dare to Dream Travel, and I'm hopping on to do another part of my weddings series that I started a while back. And I am deep into wedding planning right now with some clients. And so I thought this would be a great opportunity to come on and talk about a part of the planning process that I hadn't touched on quite yet. And that is going to be an overview of what you can expect from the Sandals and Beaches teams once you get your wedding booked with them. So here's what's going to happen. The first people that you are going to talk to are going to be people in the reservations department and people in the contracting department. We talked a while back about having to decide whether you're going to do a group code or a group contract in regards to the rooms that you're going to hold for your wedding guests. If you haven't listened to that, I encourage you to go back. If you have questions on that, please reach out. That's one of the most confusing parts of the whole process, trying to decide that piece. And it does need to be decided in the beginning. So we're beyond that. And then you've talked to the reservations team and you've made your own reservation of what room you're going to stay in at what resort. And that booking is done. So you're booked. You've got your room. You've got your group code or contract ready for your guests. And now Sandals and Beaches is going to pass you off to the weddings department. They're going to schedule a time for you to chat with somebody in the weddings department, and it usually takes place within the first couple weeks after that initial booking. And so you get that scheduled, and it's very exciting. You get to actually talk about the fun details of your wedding. You meet that person, you talk by phone. This is a meeting that I hop on with my clients if they want me to. There's no charge for me to do this. As a reminder, I've owned a wedding planning company here in the States for the past 15 years. And so not only am I really knowledgeable about being a travel agent and getting your guest rooms booked, but I love talking about the details of the wedding and helping you out with getting that planned and making the best decisions for you. This first call is usually pretty overwhelming. I will say that. There's a lot of information that gets brought up and a lot of questions that gets asked to you. So, for example, they're going to talk to you about where you want the ceremony to be, where you want your cocktail hour to be, where you want your dinner to be, um, music choices, vow choices. They'll tell you where you can find the menus that you can look at for dinner. If you want to extend past the dinner and have a DJ, music, extras, spa treatments, cake flavors, all of these questions are going to be coming at you. And what I always tell my clients is you can answer questions that you know the answers to, but if you don't know, it's okay to just say that you don't know. It's okay. It's also okay to make a decision about something and then change your mind later. Unless you're like very close to your wedding and we need things locked in. But typically, we're planning, quite a bit out from the big day. So you have time to change your mind if something were to come up. They are also going to go through all these questions with you. And then after this meeting, you're going to have a lot of stuff to look at. You're going to have the menus and the upgrades and the photography packages, anything that you haven't made a decision on. You're going to feel like you've talked about your whole wedding and that you need to make a decision about your entire wedding. And that's where it can be so beneficial to have somebody on that call with you who can take notes and coach you through it. And then after the call, talk about what those questions were, what you have in mind, from my perspective as well. So that's one of the services I offer free of charge to my clients. I just think that having that wedding experience, background, planning, it really is helpful when it gets to this point in the planning. Other travel agents, I don't think, have the knowledge that I do to really dive into the wedding logistics and look at it the same way that I do, so that I can really help you with that. But after this call, then they also, at the end of the call, typically will set up your next call. And depending on how long of an engagement you have, that's usually a month, 2 months, 3 months later. It gives you time to process everything that was just asked to you. It gives you time to look at the options and make the decisions. And then on the next call, they talk through with you. It's the same person that you talked to the first time. And so they'll talk through with you a reminder of the decisions that you made and then talk through the things that were still outstanding. And so hopefully there will be some updates there. If you have made any decisions, they can then update your wedding order, your invoice if things are being added, all of these little things. We're just trying to get to a point in the planning where all of these little decisions have been made. So again, I can be on that call too. Um, and I've had clients where after the second call, they're in a really good spot. And so they don't really need to schedule anything urgently. I've had other clients where we still have a ways out. So maybe we schedule another call just to do a refresh of everything that we talked about. It just really depends where you are in the planning process and what you need. But you're going to keep talking to the same person on the phone through the planning process. Now, if you need something in the interim, I've reached out to the general weddings team. You can email your wedding coordinator. They are available to you throughout the planning process for questions, but it's mostly these scheduled calls along the way that are going to be the most beneficial. And then what's going to happen is you've gotten to the very last part, you're all set to go, you've submitted your marriage documents, and we're all in a good place with the wedding plans. You arrive at the resort, and then you meet with your actual wedding coordinator at the resort. So, this is a different person than you've been talking to on the phone, but they've been given all of your wedding details. And when you arrive, they'll have some times before the big day that you'll set up to meet this person and again talk through all of the decisions that have been made. They'll walk the property with you. They'll tell you, like, yes, because I mean, a lot of times my clients may not have been to the resort before they arrive for the wedding. So it's good to give yourself a couple days to get acquainted with the property. And then that way, when you're walking through with your wedding coordinator, you can see the spots that you've chosen. If for some reason something doesn't work out or you really don't like it, you can talk then about if there's a different option available that you can move to. This way you get to see it. You don't get to taste the menu or talk through everything, but you can taste cake if you want to. They talk through everything about the day so that you are prepared on what's going to be happening, and they'll touch base with you throughout the week about the planning as well. So those are the steps that are going to happen after you get everything solidified and booked. And again, I just want to stress a lot of this stuff can be very overwhelming because it really feels like decisions are coming at you very quickly. And so, strongly encourage you to reach out. I would love to help you plan your wedding at Sandals or Beaches Resorts. We can talk before the calls, after the calls. I'm on the calls with you, all with a wedding planner perspective. And I don't charge any extra for these services because I have such an extensive background in wedding planning. It's all up here. So I'm happy to share my knowledge with you and also be your travel agent to professionally get those rooms booked, added to your wedding contracting code, and then you have one point person throughout the entire process, not affiliated with Sandals, who you can reach out to in the States, and we can work together along with the Sandals team to get your wedding planned just the way you like it. All right, thank you for listening. If you have any questions about weddings at Sandals or Beaches Resorts, want to see some prices, or just have some basic questions about any of the properties, please reach out. My email is here, and you can find me online, Dare to Dream Travel, WI. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Congratulations.